Hello everybody, welcome back to the Final Fantasy X walkthrough. We've just arrived at Kilika, right? Kilika village. And witnessed Sin essentially destroying it. Alright, so we're actually gonna be coming up on a scene here in a little bit. And Yuna performing the sending, they call it, for the people that perished here at Kilika. So we'll watch that, and then we'll talk a little bit about what that means and the character development and whatnot right after that all wraps up.
What's ascending? Are we going somewhere?
You truly are clueless. Are you sure it's just your memory that's the problem? The dead need guidance. Filled with grief over their own death, they refuse to face their fate. They yearn to live on and resent those still alive. You see, they envy the living. And in time, that envy turns to anger, even hate. Should these souls remain in Spira, they become fiends that prey on the living. Sad, isn't it? The sending takes them to the far plane, where they may rest in peace.
Summoners do this? It must be tough, being a summoner.
Yuna chose her own path. She knew from the beginning what it meant. All we can do is protect her along the way, until the end.
Until the end? What's the end?
Until she defeats sin.
Oh.
I hope I did okay.
You did very well. They've reached the far plane by now, but no tears next time.
I wished there would never be a next time. No more people being killed by sin. No more sendings for Yuna. Everyone stood there watching her. It was strange, and somehow horrifying. I never wanted to see it again.
All right, so obviously pretty big scene, a lot of stuff going down there. Titus, comments that, essentially towards the end there, that he never wants to have to see Yuna dancing. Meaning, I assume that meant, or what I took from that was that obviously Sin has, been here and essentially is destroying families, and people are dying, and he kind of has been or is more or less along for the ride, until they get to Luca. And I kind of look at that as maybe some commitment from Titus, kind of to the cause, I suppose, and that maybe he doesn't just want to be along for the ride. And then, what does Titus say? Something there at the end of the conversation. Something about the end. And Titus is obviously clueless. He doesn't know anything about this world. He doesn't know about what's going to happen once Sin is defeated. And obviously that's a big learning curve that develops over the game. But here there's a little girl here. You don't want to save her, which I guess just happens automatically. But in doing so, there will be a treasure for you at I believe it's the inn, or is it the bar? I think it's the bar. So yeah, save the girl and collect your reward, I suppose. So, Kilika is actually, this place is pretty cool. I like this, essentially this village on the water. I don't know. I thought it was really neat. It was a shame that it kind of got destroyed, but hey. Alright, so you got some potions here. Eventually, when we come back here... so Blitzball is obviously a huge part of this game, and it's a fun little mini game, I think. But I know there's some people here that you can recruit, if you want to, which is another really cool thing. So I don't know, in today's world of fantasy football teams and all that jazz, this kind of feels, I don't know, similar. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. Like I said, not everybody is wild about the Blitzball game, but I actually really like it. I think it's a pretty fun little mini game that they put in. Hey, hands off the merchandise! I don't think you can grab whatever's in that chest. I don't know, maybe it's just this stuff. This stuff here that's buyable? I don't know. Is that what that was supposed to be? Anyways, I don't know. Most of the merchants in this game and the gear that they sell, I think, is kind of junky. I would say. Let me put it this way: about 9 times out of 10, when you come across a merchant, I would say that I would not recommend buying, what they've got. But there's about, that other 10% where, you can buy some really cool stuff. And here's your reward. And there's an Albed primer right there on the counter. So wow, not only causing some physical strife, but maybe obviously that guy there is just pretty emotionally devastated too. He doesn't even want to look out to sea because he's scared. Rightfully so, I suppose. And the Aurochs. I mean, look at these guys.
There you are.
What a bunch of good guys. They're all trying to, you know, repair stuff.
On to the temple, where we pray for victory. Go! High Summoner O'Halloran used to live in the Kilika Temple here. Yep, Lord O'Halloran was once a great blitzer, you know.
Waka. Praying for victory's all good. But is this right?
Something wrong with enjoying blitzball?
Is this really the time?
This is the only time. The players fight with all their strength. The fans cheer for their favorite team. They forget pain, suffering. Only the game matters. That's why Blitz has been around for so long. At least that's what I think.
Whatever you say.
Let's play and win, right?
Right.
Temple's beyond the jungle there. Let's go.
So I like Titus's comment there, like, hey, is it right to be playing or right to be praying for victory? You know, with that, basically with everything going on, is that really should that really be our focus? And Waka's response is, now is the best time, or it's the only time, and reason being is it's, you know, basically he's saying that blitzball is a good distraction from maybe life's hardships and sin. So I don't know, basically saying a good distraction is needed, which I guess I can agree with to a certain extent.
What's up?
Yuna's saying she wants you with us.
Huh?
I want to ask you to be my guardian.
You know what? There's no time for jokes, yeah? He may be a blitzball whiz kid, but up against fiends, he's a newbie.
Not a guardian, then. I just want him nearby.
What?
What? What do you mean?
It's just that, well...
We're all going to the temple anyway. Can't this wait till later?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have...
There's nothing to be sorry about. I'm just not really sure what's going on.
My apologies.
Kimari, why don't you use Lancet on it?
What's a lancet?
Normally, it's a skill that weakens enemies and heals the user. But when a Ronso uses it, that Ronso can sometimes learn Fiend's abilities.
Hey, sounds cool.
Alright, so here's your Lancet tutorial. Not too difficult, pretty easy stuff. Use Lancet on this bad boy, you learn Seed Cannon. I believe every time Kimari actually learns a brand new skill, if your overdrive isn't already full, it will fill it up. So, I don't know, kind of useful, I suppose. But, you know, I guess how many times is that going to happen during your game? A handful. And here I wasted it because my overdrive meter was already all the way full. I think those dudes right there, those whatever, what were those things called even? Well, I missed the name. Anyways, I think they can be blinded. And if that's the case, I would definitely recommend that. Those things can pack a punch. We got some mana spheres. No big deal. Alright. The bees, I would recommend taking care of those first. They can poison, and poison damage adds up. So like I said in one of the previous videos, whatchamacallit, wow, status effects. English is hard, okay?
Now what?
Status effects are a huge part of this game. And like I said, poison's really annoying. Every time you try to take an action with a poison character, you're gonna lose a significant chunk of health. I think it's percentage based, or I'm gonna take a stab and say that it's percentage based.
Make way!
I don't remember though right off the top of my head. It's been quite some time since I played this, so
You're not too bad.
I think it's percentage based. And anyways, you know, towards the end of the game, if it wasn't percentage based, it would be pretty garbage. I mean, frankly, who would even care how much, you know, 200 damage? That'd be like whoop-de-doo at, you know, level whatever, or sphere level whatever, when you've got, you know, 9,999 health, you know. So again, I think it is percentage based, and it would sure make sense to me. Another super devastating, even more devastating attack than poison, because I don't know. In the end of the game, or at the end of the day, I don't know that I would say poison's devastating. But one attack that is, however, is confusion. Reason being, your confused party members can destroy other members of your party. And it most likely will happen at some point or another. Alright, let's see how much that. Ow, 161? That was a huge chunk of health there. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's not percentage based, but that was fun. Because that was like 3/4 of his health. I think he only had 200 left.
Just thought
Or maybe it's a percentage of your maximum health. That would actually make more sense. Not your current health. So anywho, if Kimahri was to take an action right now, he would die. So let's get him out of here.
I can take care of those alone, huh?
Take down this bee with Waka. One other thing, so when you're... Oh yeah, why did I bring him in again? This is just gonna kill him. I guess unless I use an antidote. Are there antidotes in this game? Oh, no, actually, if he was to finish this enemy off, he might live. I don't know if poison will still tick after... There you go. That answers that. I think I must have just used, what, the defend command there? Anyways, lost my train of thought here. Too much fail going on, I guess. Oh, yeah, so when you're swapping characters out, you know, to make sure that they're getting AP at the end of battles, I would try to at least, you know, kill everything but one enemy, or like, you know, as you're swapping in characters, swap in the ones that make sense. Maybe don't just swap in Yuna right off the bat and have her defend, because, you know, that's not going to do you a whole lot of favors. You're just going to take a bunch of extra damage that way. Even if you are, you know, using that defend command, it's going to be better for you to kill an enemy, you know, with a Waka or Titus. Reduce the amount of incoming damage and then swap in your characters towards the end.
Step aside.
Again, though, that can be a little tedious, I'll admit. You know, swapping in characters constantly for all these, you know, minor battles, I'll call them, again, will get tedious. But the problem is, if you don't do that, what could happen is, towards the middle of the game, like what happened to me, I had a Kimahri that was just had no levels whatsoever. He was... I barely ever used him in combat. You know, some of the boss battles I'd bring him in for. Some of them I just wouldn't. And you know, there was a part in the game where you will fight with him alone.
Anyone thirsty?
And that battle can really drag on and be extremely difficult if you've neglected him throughout the game. So that being said, you know, try to use your characters as much as you can. again, like I said, it'll get tedious from time to time, and you know, if that starts to become the case, then you know, I guess you could start slacking, you know, then. But you know, for the most part, just I would recommend bringing in your characters as much as you can, and just make sure that they don't fall behind. What did we get there? Was that a Lux Sphere or something like that? Lux Spheres are actually very, very, very rare. Towards the end of the game, they will be less rare, but at this point in the game, they are extremely rare. So I believe the Lux Sphere actually will fill in a empty node on your grid, and I believe it's something like it gives you +4 to luck or something. I'll have to look again to remember exactly what that luck stat does for you. Yeah. I suspect it's like critical hits.
Told ya!
But there might be more to it that I don't remember. But anyways, I guess the thing to keep in mind about that is that a Lux Sphere also takes, you know, it takes the Lux Sphere to put it into the grid, but you also need a Fortune ability sphere or whatever to actually activate it, and those are extremely rare too. So you know, I guess for the time being, don't worry about that too much. You're not going to really be able to do anything with it. And the other problem would be is if you stick it in your sphere grid right now, and you don't have a Fortune sphere to actually activate it, you'll be stuck there and you won't be able to level your character. Or worst case would be you'd end up having to come back. Which again, I feel like that would be even worse. Here for Kimahri, you can kind of choose whichever way you want to go. I don't know. I guess I kind of came down here towards the bottom. I made my way clockwise around this. I don't know. This is. You can kind of almost make a perfect circle here in his spot. I mean, you can actually branch off into other characters' grids. The problem with that is that you need these key spheres. You can see here there's lock nodes, so that's a level. To the right of us is a level 2, and up above is a level 1. I don't remember where you get your first level 2 sphere at, or what do you actually call those? Oh, level 1 key sphere. So a level 1 key sphere, or a level 2 key sphere. So anyways, I don't remember where you get your first level 2 at. It'll be a ways up. We've got a couple of level 1 key spheres coming up, though, pretty soon. And what I'm going to do, like I said, I mentioned in one of the other videos, is that I like to take Kimahri down the, kind of like the thief route. And the reason being, we don't have our thief right now. Riku won't be rejoining us for a while yet. So that's how I like to do it. Now, if you want another black mage or something, go ahead, head down towards Lulu's region. If you want another white mage, you could go, you know, over towards Yuna, but I don't know, I don't really feel like that's all that useful. I feel like, you know, Yuna does a fine job. I mean, in all honesty, everybody does a really good job in their kind of, I don't know if I want to say predetermined roles. Or maybe classic role? I don't know. So yeah, so everybody does a pretty good job, and I don't really feel like you necessarily need an extra. But again, because we're not going to have Riku for a while yet, that's what I do. And I typically find that works quite well. Actually, I usually end up really happy with that. I know one of the times I played, I went down Lulu's path, and he just you know, he does okay as a black mage. The problem is he ends up lagging behind Lulu, so you'll notice that he does substantially less damage than she does. Unless, you know, you were to, you know, really focus on leveling him and kind of catching him up to where in this case Lulu would be. You know, and if you don't do that, again, like I said, you'll just you'll notice his damage ends up really lacking, just because he doesn't have the you know, the same base stats, which, you know, for black mage would be the mana, or sorry, the magic stat. You know, if that's just not high enough, you're not going to be, you know, one-shotting the the mobs that are kind of weak against magic like you normally would with Luigi. So I guess, you know, take that however you want, do whatever you want. That's the cool thing about Kamari though too, is, you know, he's flexible because he starts in the middle of the grid, you know, and you can do really anything that you want with him. So yeah, here's Ochu. This guy can be kind of annoying. At some points in the fight, he'll fall asleep and then he'll regen a ton of health if you let him stay asleep. So if he does do that, if he puts himself to sleep, make sure you wake him up as soon as you can. And here I used Veil for, I don't know, it didn't end up panning out all that well. I used Veil for's Overdrive, and it wasn't enough to kill him. And the problem with using a summon's Overdrive is it's got a long, kind of like wait time afterwards. So what you'll find will happen is you'll blow the Overdrive, and then if it doesn't kill him off, the enemy will get like 3 or 4 turns in a row. And on a boss like Ochu, that's a major problem. Actually, it's a pretty big problem for most bosses because you're just going to get slammed for 4 turns very easily. Now, in the case of Ochu, though, I think he ends up putting himself to sleep and getting almost all of his health back that I took off of him. So again, this didn't really pan out. I thought it was going to, but it looks like, is he not? I don't think he's immune to Sonic Wings. So actually a smarter idea probably would have been to just keep spamming Sonic Wings. Well, hold on, I'm getting a little low on health, so maybe there's just not a better way to do this. Actually, I think you know, in hindsight, probably would have worked okay. Would have been to unsummon Veil for right now, and then do a couple rounds with just the regular characters, and then bring Veil for back in once I got him Ochu a little bit lower to finish him off with the Overdrive here. And unfortunately, you'll see here, yeah, 1,500 just wasn't enough to kill him. So he falls asleep on the next turn, and then he regens 2,000 health. So he regened for 2 turns there, and regened about 2,000 health back. I mean, you know, 1,800, but that was all of the Overdrive, you know, and essentially I was back to square one. So, you know, again, hindsight's 20/20 and all that. One cool thing though is, here you go, he should be immune to Earthquake because he's flying, Veil 4 that is. And I assume that's why it missed. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess, keep in mind Veil 4's Energy Blast, it's only going to be about 1,500 health, so knock him down a little bit lower, you know, and actually get him as close to 0 as you can, and then actually if you can finish him off with the Overdrive and potentially get an overkill, you know, he should drop more items at the end of combat, so I guess that'd be my recommendation. You know, get him as low as you can, and then hit him with the Overdrive. Go for that overkill. I'm not sure what kind of damage you actually have to do to him to, you know, get that overkill. And here's where the battle kind of starts getting a little out of hand though for me too. So a poison lands on Lulu, and instead of curing it, I decided to keep attacking. So that knocks her lower. And now the question is, well, do I cure her, or do I use Asuna to remove the poison? So I went with cure, which, okay, yeah, that gives her a decent chunk back, but problem is she's going to take another action and then lose a bunch more again. So, maybe not the best of choices. I think an Asuna here would have probably ended up being a better idea. And now Yuna's low, so I have to heal her. So yeah, you know, again, hindsight is always great. I was like watching how I, you know, do these fights and my decision making. And sometimes it's like, really, dude? You really thought that that was the best idea? But, alright. We gotta be getting close here. I think this video goes until I beat him. Alright, so there you go. He only regened 172 there, and again, I think that's because he, you know, the initial him falling asleep, it's like, okay, 200 health, but then if you let him sleep for a full round, I think that's where he regens the, like, 900. Did I pick the wrong target here? Oh, no, okay. I got her. I thought I actually had Waka targeted there for that Asuna, but that was not the case. Boy, if it wasn't obvious already, Ochu is weak against... Oh, yeah, okay, so there was the kill shot right there. So Lulu does a ton of work there, actually. Wow, that was like, what, 400 health she was taking off?
Whoa. A summoner and her guardians. Very impressive.
Sir, we should fight too.
We'll get our chance soon enough.
Young crusaders gather around. We'll beat sin into the ground.
Oh,
Do your
now
best,
that
kid.
Oh, they're nice. There's an elixir.
Hey, after the
Forgot about
tournament,
that.
you should join the Crusaders.
One thing I didn't know or bring up is actually that Ochu is completely optional. You don't even have to actually kill him. And here I came back to, because I completely forgot that I had already gotten this chest.
Don't give up!
So, whoopsie. And everybody's half dead. But anyways, yeah, so Ochu there, you know, obviously Lulu does a lot of work. He's weak against fire.
Stay
Again, I
down.
should have brought that up a lot earlier, you know, but maybe that was kind of obvious. Maybe not. But anyways, I'm gonna go show you guys this empty treasure chest because again, I already grabbed it, so my bad. And then we're gonna backtrack to the save point, and then you know, we'll just continue to walk through from there. But I'm gonna cut the commentary here. So like, comment, subscribe because what I do. Hope you guys are helpful though. Hope you're enjoying them, and hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.
Oh yeah!
Sit back and watch.
Allow me. Excellent.